What's up, Internet? I'm Aries Van Dam, and this is WTF Are You Thinking? And today is a big topic. I'm going to get a lot of fans today. Today's topic is feminism. And I'm probably going to have to edit this and do a couple of videos to put this one together. Yeah, feminism's stupid. It's really, really stupid. And I'm biased a little bit because I've worked jobs where they relaxed all the requirements for women so they could do those jobs. I was a police officer and I worked in plants and things like that, and they always relax the standards so that women can do the job. Well, do a version of the job, not the job that men are doing. They're getting paid the same as the men, but they're not doing the same job. They're just not. I worked in law enforcement. Every time we got a new female police officer, I had to go to every call she went out on, every traffic stop. Everything she did, I had to be there to make sure she didn't get beat up. And at a certain point, you're like, why are we even hiring women? Then just hire men, so I don't have to do twice the work every night. And to hear them argue that they want equal pay. Equal pay, you have a chaperone on every call you go on. Every time you get out of the car, there's a man chasing behind you to make sure you're safe. Why would you think you deserve that kind of job? They don't do that for men. I don't have a guy following me around to make sure I'm safe on every traffic stop I make. Why do you? Oh, because they relaxed all the requirements. You're not strong enough, you're not fast enough, and you're not trained well enough to handle a man. So we'll just make a man go with you. And to some people, that makes sense. That makes sense. If it was your business, you wouldn't do it that way. But it's the government, so we'll just make them do it that way. But if it was your business, you would not hire a woman just so you could hire a man to do the job she's supposed to be doing. Would you? Would you? And think about for firemen. If you're not strong enough to lift heavy things, you shouldn't be a fireman. They should not ever relax any standards for firemen or police or military or any of those things, because those things are urgent. That strength that they're making sure you have, they're doing it for a reason. You're going to have to use it. So when you relax the standards and let women do it, even though they're not strong enough to do all the stuff that they're going to be doing with the job, what sense does that make? I've been trying to get somebody to explain it to me for a very long time, and no one ever has. It can't make sense because it doesn't make sense. In the effort to be equal, we're letting women get paid for doing less work than men, while they complain that they're making less. But I was there, I saw the paychecks. Like, I know they were making the same as me because we would compare them. Oh, yep, you're making the same as me. And I'm doing your job and my job. So can be a little frustrating. And I know there's going to be some feminist, a woman who's not a feminist, but she really is a feminist, come and say, well, a real man would just do what he's got to do. Yeah, I don't want to have to do that, though. I don't think I should. And I don't think you would think you had to either. I don't think if you were at your job and they said, oh, we're hiring this new person, so now you're going to have a lot more work to do and you're going to make the same as you and you're going to make exactly what you're making right now. You would not be ecstatic to be doing extra work like that just in the sake of equality. But it's not equal. Nothing else is equal. What else is equal? And I hear women complain all the time that they're getting a raw deal. Really? Really? See, when I was young, it was told to me that I had to be a responsible adult. I had to, take care of kids and I had to take care of women and all these things. But they never gave a woman any duty that corresponds to that. So y'all are just princesses. Y'all just get taken care of and some guy has to do it for you like he's your slave or something. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like when you work with women and you see that you do all the heavy lifting for them. It feels like you're a slave because you're not getting any extra pay for that. You're getting the same pay you were getting before. So all that extra work, that's slave labor. Because I'm not making any more, so I'm doing more work. So if you're making me do work and you're not paying me for it, isn't that slave labor? Isn't it? Well, I know that this is not going to be a popular thing because we've been taught in school since we were children, all these lies that feminism preaches. And you have to pretend like they're real or else women get real, real mad. Big mad. And I'm not saying women are inferior or anything like that. I'm saying you're not as strong physically. And some things you're not mentally prepared for either because they pretended like everything you did was okay since your entire life. So you think it's good. It's not good. It's not good at all. Y'all freak out at the slightest bit of problems. It's scary sometimes to be around a woman when shit's going bad. It's not fun. So those type of jobs, you shouldn't be in those. Like anything that's like, you know, dangerous or scary in the moment, those jobs are not made for women, because it's dependent on what time of the month it is most of the time too. Because you can handle things a completely different way if you're not going through that versus when you are. So you just really shouldn't have jobs like that. And I don't know why I needed to say this, because it's pretty obvious. If you look around and you have eyes and you see it, go to a police station, ask them what the requirements are for a man, what they are for a woman. And if they're not different, well, then they've changed something, because it's been like that for a very long time. They've always relaxed the standards for women just so that they can get a job and do something. Even if it's not a job they should be doing. Like if they're not strong enough to do that job, maybe they should go do a job that's less physically intense. You know, maybe go do some filing or receptionist or something like that. But you don't need to be in a man's space where a man needs to handle his business, because you're just in the way. You're just in the way. And it's dangerous when you're doing jobs that are involving people's lives. Like police officer, firemen, and military especially. Those three, they could turn around and be really bad if things go wrong. So you shouldn't have women in just this experimental position where you've got them undertrained, underqualified, and underprepared to do the job. It's not safe. Just watch the news. You could find plenty of female police officers getting their guns taken or accidentally shooting somebody. They're men too. I'm not saying if they're bad, the men need to go too. Same thing. Same thing. I'm not trying to make this some men are better than women thing, because it's not. Because we can turn that around, and if they were trying to inject men into some of the jobs that women excel in, like teaching or childcare, it would not be good. I'll grant that. The difference is they're not trying to. There's been no push to get more men into childcare. I've never seen any hiring practices that are trying to hire men to do that. Why do they do it the other way for women, to get them into jobs they should not be doing? That's the question. If somebody can explain that to me, then I guess this video is moot. But I just don't see it. I don't see a reason for it. Yeah, you should have some women in law enforcement. Like, you know, when you bring them back to the jail, if they got you're arresting a woman's got to pat them down. So you could have one in a jailer position, but they should not be out on the road unless they're strong enough and mentally aware enough to do the job like a man would do. So sometimes I don't know what I'm supposed to say, because that's pretty obvious. I don't understand how anyone would even have a problem with it. It's not sexist. It's not misogynistic at all. I love women. I just love women who do their feminine roles. I don't like masculine women. That's what I don't like. So don't do those jobs. Do something else. Go do something you're suited for and that you can do effectively. Because what it inevitably happens in law enforcement, and I've seen this happen at departments, where you're going and asked to talk to rank, and all the rank are women. Why? Oh, because they needed to get them off the street. So now they're in charge of the things the men on the street are doing. And they've never been able to do them. So now you've got a supervisor who doesn't know what they're doing, just because they needed to get them off the street. Because it's harder to fire people like that when they're just incompetent. If they're messing up or doing something stupid, yeah, it's easy to get rid of them. But if they're just incompetent, it's a lot more difficult. So a lot of the times, they just promote them up. You can find out, especially campus police, they're full of women. Like all the higher ups are women. And that's why. Because you got to get rid of them some way. And once you hire them, they're stuck there. So I'm just hoping to see people with Trump. Maybe he'll change some of this, but I'm not optimistic because he's such a feminist. It's alarming at times. I would hope he would do something about these type of things, and it looks like he is with the military, but I don't know if he's going to have the fortitude to anger women any further. So we'll see. We'll see. But I just wanted to put this video out because it's really crazy to me that you expect women to be men. when they're not men, and they can't do what men can do, and men can't do what women can do. Convexly, the exact same thing. I'm not saying one is better. They're just designed to do different things. We were born to do different things. So it was just a long one. Okay, peace.